Hello guys, we're here to discuss the voter fraud election in 2020 US. First I want to mention that I'm not a US citizen, I'm from Europe, and personally I don't have a choice between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, but there are some important things to discuss regarding these elections. Now, I want to focus in one case, but there are many other cases. I want to focus in Wisconsin, where Joe Biden won. It's called out 49.6%. He has all the votes, so let's get into it. While many people are saying that voter fraud is nearly impossible and there's no chance for that to happen, there are some questions. For example, in Wisconsin, let me show you a graph here. The state of race in Wisconsin, right? This is November the 4th at 6 a.m. in the morning. You clearly see this graph going like this. Okay, going like this. This is literally impossible, even with the mail ballots. And you have here Brown and Kenosha counties are still counting. Okay. Now let me show you something. Here we are in Wisconsin, and here is Kenosha County. Trump won by 50%, 50.83%. Okay? So this is Biden votes, 44,000, nearly 45,000 votes. Now here is Brown County. Trump won by 52.82% votes, and Biden only has 45% votes. That's 70,865,000 votes. Okay, so he clearly won the remaining votes. He clearly won the remaining votes in Wisconsin. Okay, so literally, what this graph shows is false. It can happen if the elections were true and were not fraudulent. Okay, you literally cannot have this graph here. You literally cannot have this graph, because this graph means that no Republican votes came after, which is a lie, because not all mail-in ballots were for Biden, and that's been accepted even by CNN and other news media. So you cannot have this vote. It's like the Republican vote, the vote for Trump stopped right here, and then only Biden votes were counted. And keep in mind, Brown and Kenosha counties were still counted. So how can they still count? You have a count in Kenosha and Brown County where Trump won with some few points there, a good few points, and still not have Trump won. I mean, this is unacceptable, right? And let me show you how a normal graph would look like. This is how a normal graph would look like. So Kansas, Ohio, okay? Look at this. This is how it's supposed to go. This is not that upward graph and the let me show you again, right? Not like this. Not like this. It's something like this, okay? And it's not just Minnesota, Michigan, right? Look, the same thing in Michigan. It's like they added votes, especially for Biden to get up with Trump votes. And like I said, I'm not a Trump fan. I hope he loses because I don't like him personally. But this is not acceptable in any democracy. Okay. Now let me tell you why did they actually do this? What's the reason? Why should they make this fraud? Well, here we go. About the polls. Look here, Florida. They put here 78% for Biden. Pennsylvania 93% for Biden. Right? This is clearly biased. Clearly biased, and all the polls did this, even Fox News, right? So it's it's really the polls and all this polling that they make a lot of money on, right? And they don't want to lose that. So let me show you another graph here. Look at this. This is Wisconsin. This is the polling. Biden 91%, right? 91%. Now, chance of winning. Now, this was not obvious at all in Wisconsin, right? You only have this the final results from, look here, from Associated Press, right? Only up to 20,000 votes. This was not at all obvious that Biden would win it, right? Only with this, Biden won it. So it was called out. So let me show you something interesting here. Now we're in November. This is November the 3rd, right? Where exactly November the 3rd, right? This is November the 3rd, November the 4th, where this happened, right? This is November the 3rd. And they put Biden at 8.8% win chance. Or Trump with 8.8% chance. And Biden with 91% chance of winning. So when clearly on November the 3rd, the Republican vote was winning. Trump was winning. And they put it at, right, you can see it here, November 2020, November the 3rd. Biden 91% chance. This is absolutely biased and crazy, right? So it does not reflect reality. Why would you make a poll like this? Why? Now let me show you something else, right?
Putting onerous restrictions on people in response to 60 or 70 documented cases of voter fraud, then I think it is questionable if you're doing more harm than good.
The New York Times.
So he said it doesn't matter, because there are so few votes that came up fraudulent that you do more harm than good. Okay.
Highlighted a federal court study in Wisconsin in 2014. It found 300,000 registered voters didn't have any of the required IDs.
So, really? This is New York Times. New York Times said that in Wisconsin, an estimate of 300,000 voters did not have the required IDs to vote. Okay, so that completely changes the whole conversation here and what the gentleman before said, right? 300,000. So it's not 20, 40 votes. It's 300,000. Okay, in 2014. Now I don't know how many, but they should find out. This is not about Trump or who's winning. It's about the state of the election, right? You cannot have this graph, right? And this fact, right, that they do not have the required IDs. 300,000 people, and you tell everybody saying, "Oh, it's no problem. It's no problem." Okay.
Fraud because Trump is losing. I'm saying this election is fraud because this election is fraud. Let's get that clear. Democrats even tried to mail a ballot for a place I lived in 10 years ago, 2 states ago. And somebody contacted me and let me know that there was a ballot that I never requested, sent my name because they thought I was a Democrat and somebody was going to send this crap back. So stop acting like you guys are not committing fraud, okay? And it frustrates me when people are like, oh, no, these are just the absentee ballots. No, absentee ballots are ballots that people request ahead of time and they send them to you and you send them back. I never requested this. And on top of that, I don't even live in that state. And I didn't even vote in that state. So quit lying, guys. Quit lying and acting like you guys are not cheating. I'm a registered Democrat voting for Trump, so I know exactly what you guys are doing. First and foremost, okay? And just be fair about it, okay? If this was Barack Obama running again and he had this many votes, I would probably say yes. But it's not. It's Biden, and he can't even fill a classroom. And somehow you guys want me to think that a race is close for a man who couldn't even get 3 people at his rallies. Quit lying. Quit acting like the race is this close because it's not. Quit acting like you're not committing fraud because you are. And that's all I have to say about that, guys. Thank you, guys. Like and subscribe.
So basically, what you heard right there says it all. It says it all. This is absolutely impossible, right? With the mail with the vote that came in the mail ballots, right? This is absolutely crazy. And I'm talking just Wisconsin, but I want to show you Pennsylvania, all right? Pennsylvania, Georgia. Oh my God, Georgia, the same thing. Georgia, same thing. Yes, this must be investigated. And everybody's like, all the mainstream media, shh, quiet down. You know, all the newspapers, when they said it, you know, they say their problems here, right? They said it, 300,000 voters, right? Do not have the required ID, so don't tell me that, oh, in the history we didn't have this problem, because you did, right? It's fact checking, okay? So this is how things are right now. This is how things are, and I hope they solve it, you know, and hopefully we're gonna see some closure, because this cannot go on. This cannot go on. Look at this graph. It cannot go on. That's it, guys.